Green flag flies. 91 laps will be complete. 9 laps remain here at the Honda Grand Prix at St. Petersburg. And it looks like Alex Barron will duck into the pits. We'll wait and see. Briscoe being challenged by Tony Kanaan on the outside in turn number 1. Jerry Baker, can he make the bass stick?
We don't think so, Mike. I've lost him momentarily. The field will now come sliding back into our view. Here they come, heading toward the right field foul pole of home of Al Lang Field. It is still going to be Briscoe out in front. Kanaan had him momentarily. Briscoe, Kanaan, Weldon, and Franchitti are literally glued together. Kanaan goes to the outside, cannot make it move. Head falls back in line to turn 7, goes into turn 8. Got a crash down here in turn 5. One of the cars, I believe it's Carpentier, sliding, yes it is, sliding backwards now, going up against the wall.
So we keep our eye on the 33 car of Ryan Briscoe as they head to turn number 10. Tony Kanaan trying to make the move to the inside, Mark James.
Hard move to the inside, they touch, and Ryan Briscoe hits the tire barrier in front of us. Meanwhile, Dan Weldon works his way around Tony Kanaan. Dario tries to go there too.
So Ryan Briscoe is in the tire barrier in turn number 10. Tony Kanaan muscling his way past Briscoe. He will take the lead. No, it's Weldon who will have the lead with 92 laps complete. So while Kanaan and Briscoe were mixing it up, Weldon winds up in front. So now Andretti Green Racing runs 1, 2, 3, 4 with St. Petersburg resident Dan Weldon the leader.
Well, the people of St. Petersburg have extended their arms and welcomed the Indy Racing League. Victory Lane is going to welcome Dan Weldon. Mike, just a couple of turns before he sees the checkered flag.
For the 5th time of his young IndyCar Series career, Dan Weldon gets set to drive in the victory lane. The Klein Tools Jim Beam machine off of turn 14 for the final time. Dan Weldon with the dip to the inside as he salutes his team and wins the Honda Grand Prix of St. Petersburg as Dan Weldon has claimed first place. Tony Kanaan is second, Dario Franchitti is third, and Brian Herta is fourth. It's an Andretti Green Racing sweep, and it looks like donuts for everybody down there in turn number 1. By no means is this one over. Scott Dixon still trying to track down Elio Castroneves. So this is the white flag lap coming up. White flag is in the air. 8 car lengths separate first and second place. Kevin Lee in 1.
Elio will get the right-hand turn for one last time, about 3 car lengths at the corner in front of Scott Dixon. Well back is Tony Kanaan. It's a 2-man race.
Many places, not many opportunities to make that pass if it's going to happen. And right now, Castroneves has stretched that lead out to about 3 or 4 car lengths. It'll tighten up to 2 or 3 going through the chicane. There's the hard left-hand turn, then the right. Here comes Dixon, but he's still trying to chase down Castroneves.
Still about 3 car lengths. The first time the Indy cars came here to St. Petersburg, Elio Castroneves finished next to last. The last 2 years have been all his.
Little or no factor last weekend at Homestead Miami Speedway. The proverbial bridesmaid when it comes to series championships, a 2-time Indy 500 winner looking for his first ever series championship. One of the favorites a couple of turns away from victory lane.
Sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug. That's what Elio had to say yesterday after Tony Kanaan's problems in qualifying gave him the pole today. Elio Castroneves is the windshield as he powers his way to a convincing win here at St. Petersburg, Florida. The Honda Grand Prix of St. Pete belongs to Team Penske and Elio Castroneves. Ryan Hunter-Reay, he will bring Graham Rahal with Rahal stuck right in the rear wing, right there at the gear as they come across the line. It is going to be Ryan Hunter-Reay leading Graham Rahal by less than a car length. Elio Castroneves is going to pop to the inside of Vizo there in turn number 1.
And Graham Rahal grabs the lead. He got to the inside of Ryan Hunter-Reay. Castroneves is in third, Vizo in fourth, and Weldon and Dixon.
Here comes the Graham Rahal. He has done just great stuff today up in this turn number 4 area. He has really stretched it out now. Here's a gang of the 4 cars trying to work their way through, but it is still the 06 car of Rahal out in front heading toward turn number 8.
This will be at the white flag lap for Graham Rahal in his 15th major open wheel start. Will number 15 be the charm? He'll see the white flag. His lead over Elio Castroneves now better than 2 seconds is for the last time. He heads into turn number 1, Kevin Lee.
The Newman Haas Lanigan driver has a 15 car length advantage as we have a local yellow in turn number 10. Castroneves well back, another 20 car lengths back to Kanaan in third.
Graham Rahal all by his lonesome. Perhaps we got trouble at turn number 1.
Weldon is spun around, and Jay Howard, they are off the course in the grass. Weldon will get it back turned around, and he'll run through, and he's back underway.
We have a new star in IndyCar racing. He's already through corner number 9. He's only a teenager, and he's the son of a former champion of Indianapolis, Graham Rahal.
Same scenario in the Indy Pro Series 2 years ago when Marco Andretti got to the podium. This time, the 06 of Graham Rahal, the second-generation winner on the streets of St. Petersburg. Graham Rahal, a couple of turns away from victory lane, Mike King.
Here's something new for you. How about a kid from Ohio winning a race in the IndyCar Series? It's going to happen today here on the streets of St. Petersburg. 19-year-old Graham Rahal, in his first IndyCar Series start, will win the Honda Grand Prix of St. Pete as the fist pumps in the air. We're ready to go racing, side by side. Here's the field. They will accelerate, and we are racing as the green flag flies. Kevin Lee, they head to you in turn number 1.
And Will Power gets the early jump, a car length in front as they head into turn number 1. Dixon looks to the inside, and Marco Andretti goes over the top of Dixon and flips upside down. Andretti is on his lid. There are 5 cars did not make it through, including Mike Conway, also Dixon, and 2 others. I think that's Ryan Briscoe, Elio Castroneves instead, and Oriol Serbia. Conway will spin it around, and he'll get back underway, and the Homacho safety crew is attending to Marco Andretti. That car is flipped upside down.
What a calamitous start. Looked like Ryan Briscoe may have made contact with,
Why?
oh, it was with Oriol Serbia.
Serbia had his flat tire, and that's why.
We're getting set to go back, it looks like, to green flag racing as the pace car still in front of the field. Tony Kanaan is pulled alongside Dario Franchitti, and behind them you've got Power and Ryan Hunter-Ray as they're going to race side by side into turn number 1. 13 laps will be complete at the line. Dario Franchitti chooses driver right side, going into the right-hander. Dario Franchitti going to dive in, and Davey, we're 4 wide going into turn number 1. And we've got 2 cars together, and looks like one has turned. Justin Wilson made some contact. He went over the curbing. The 34 car has also spun around. That is Sebastian Saavedra. The Entergy car is up to second place. Simona Di Silvestro with HVM Racing side by side on the restart with Dario Franchitti. 16 laps will be complete at the line. This will be our 5th start. 4th restart of the race side by side. The green flag will come out as they approach the acceleration zone. There's the green. Dario out in front, Simona right behind him as they head into turn number 1. And Davey, it looks pretty clean from this point.
Yeah, now Simona did a move that, from my understanding, is not legal. She was supposed to stay in her line. She cut down as soon as she could and kind of blocked that inside line. So we'll see if she's going to get a penalty.
We've got a problem in turn number 4, and I believe it's Charlie Kimball who made contact on the outside. Charlie Kimball, who I thought actually was being really, really impressive the last couple of laps. He had really shadowed Scott Dixon. He is just out of my view, but he has missed that right-hand turn in turn number 4. That's because he made contact on the left side of his machine, and Charlie Kimball here has brought out the full course caution for the rookie.
We get set to go back to green flag racing. Field will go side by side at 75 miles an hour. So here we go, approaching the acceleration zone. Second gear restart across our finish line, and we are racing, Davey, as Dario Franchitti, once again the leader. Will Power runs second, then Simona Di Silvestro. She's on that inside line, and Tony Kanaan on the outside. A little bit of contact there through 1.
It looked like Danica and somebody got together. Just like didn't affect anything, didn't hurt any cars. They made it through. Another good start. They're catching on to the restart procedure.
Simona Di Silvestro, Davey, she's not going to give up the fight with Tony Kanaan for third place until this thing is over, and she's going to try to get him in the hairpin.
Yeah, sure enough. She has a bit of a, she needs to use that overtake right now. It's the opportunity for her to use that overtake, and she's not doing it. Tony just used it to pull away a
Here
little
she
bit.
goes. She's going to dive to the inside in turn number 1. She's going to try to get Kanaan, unable to do it. So Tony Kanaan, the crafty veteran, keeps Simona Di Silvestro behind her for now. Dario back in victory lane as Mark James. We continue to watch the battle for third.
13 and 14 now. We'll see if Simona can hit the button and get him in the straightaway at the finish line.
Here they come off of 14. The battle for third as Will Power takes second place. Not going to do it, Davey. Tony Kanaan's going to remain in front. That was a great spirited battle for third place between those two. Simona Di Silvestro will settle for fourth behind Tony Kanaan.
Elio Castroneves about to pull into victory lane for the third time on the beautiful streets of St. Petersburg, Florida.
Elio Castroneves will not put a wheel wrong here today off of 13, 14. He is on the front straight for the final time. Elio Castroneves will raise the fist for the 26th time of his career. He'll dance into victory lane. He's the winner on the streets of St. Petersburg.
The fans are on their feet, and Elio Castroneves is pulled to a stop, and he is climbing the fence in turn number 10. Photographers with the flash bulbs going off, and Elio Castroneves goes back to victory lane. And what an afternoon of driving by Elio Castroneves, and the fans saluting this champion. And now, Mike, this is a very touching, fitting way to end it as he climbs the fence to the opposite side, pats his heart, and points to the sign that says Dan Weldon Way.
How much does Hinchcliffe want this?
Hinchcliffe's got to do it now. If he's going to take the lead, this is the time to do it on the restart.
Here goes Marco up the inside of Scott Dixon. He wants that position back, and he's got it. The RC Kohler car slots in there right behind Simona, and Hinchcliffe goes on the inside. Wow, Elio made a mistake at turn 1. Hinchcliffe is the new race leader. James Hinchcliffe is on his way to his very first win in the IZOD IndyCar Series. He's been on the podium twice before, but the mayor of Hinchtown is now an IndyCar Series winner.
White flag is out for your leader, Sebastian Bourdais, so far leading 68 laps on the day, Jake.
He has started on pole in St. Petersburg, Florida. He has also now started at the very back of the field. Sebastian Bourdais, whose father introduced him to racing on a bicycle when he was 3 years old. The Frenchman told me that his prized possession is his family. This might not rank as high as them, but Nick Yeoman to win in St. Petersburg from the back of the field, pretty good for Bourdais.
He's a man who has won all over the world. Through number 10 for the final time, he'll set up for the switchback. Sebastian Bourdais, Dale Coyne Racing, and Honda Mark Janes 1 corner away from kicking off 2017 with a win.
Getting ready to go to victory lane for the 36th time in a historic career. Dives to the inside, saluting his crew. Twin checkers out. Sebastian Bourdais kicks off the season with a win at the Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. Alexander Rossi will get another shot at Robert Wickens. Wickens has now led 68 laps on the day, and Rossi has thrown absolutely everything at him that he possibly can. See how close he's able to stay with him. Wickens maybe try to snooker him a little bit off that final turn as they head down the straightaway. Rossi is right there, waiting for the green flag to fly, and there it is. We see them off in the distance. Almost impossible to see Rossi, they're so close. He takes a peek to the inside, tries to get a run down into turn number 1. They bang wheels, and Alexander Rossi spins Robert Wickens into turn number 1. Wickens sees the field pass by as Rossi continues on, Jake Query.
And it is Sebastian Bourdais that is going to hold on to the lead. It's Bourdais, then behind him Ray Hall, then Rossi. Hinchcliffe now trying to close in on Alexander Rossi, can't do it.
A salute to his crew, twin checkers out, and Sebastian Bourdais goes back-to-back, winning 2 years in a row on the streets of St. Petersburg, Florida.
1 to go, 1.8 miles is the difference between Scott McLaughlin being a race winner or not. That Dex Imaging Chevy has been brilliant, so has the Kiwi all weekend long, and he's dealing with Devlin DeFrancesco, one of 6 rookies in this race. Will it be a factor or will it not?
It seems like the gap between all 3 cars is kind of the same as you see Dev trying to hold on to it over the bumps there. He was sideways last lap right here. He's sideways there again, exiting turn 9. He's not going to move out of the way.
He is the last car on the lead lap. And just being a little source of frustration for Scott McLaughlin as he sees his mirrors full of Alex Palou.
As frustrated as he is, that was pretty much Palou's last opportunity. He's going to be close, but this isn't really a place you pass. He's going to have to really get him off.
The 28-year-old Kiwi has sustained the pressure. Scott McLaughlin, he's got 56 Supercar wins.
Whatever you got here.
He is now an IndyCar race winner. From pole to victory lane, Scott McLaughlin does it. Now it's time to see if Grosjean can win his first IndyCar race. His Andretti Autosport teammate is alongside. It's ready to go for a new racing season here in St. Pete, and Grosjean launches.
Grosjean with a great jump. That's what you want. Try to get clear of all those animals coming from behind, and it's Pato O'Ward firing up the inside.
Look at Alex Palou down there in the blue and white car, 3 wide through turn 1, Townsend. He's going to try the outside of turn 2. They're filing through side by side. This is where we see so many problems in contact already for a McLaren.
I think that's Rosenquist. Felix Rosenquist with more damage in the back. The track is total chaos.
Looks like Devlin DiFrancesco airborne. Simon Pagenaud I see in the wall. His teammate Helio Castroneves sideways. Huge accident down the track is blocked. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a red flag here. Big wiggle from Scott McLaughlin on the power, same for Pato O'Ward. He's already defending for Marcus Ericsson. Ericsson saying, no, I'm going to stay on the clean side of the racetrack.
All right, here you go. Defending winner wants to win again, but Romain Grosjean in that yellow and red DHL Honda wants to win for the first time. Alexander Rossi on his old teammate Colton Herta around the outside. You've got it. No, you don't. Herta fights back.
Oh, Colton Herta on the dirty side of the racetrack there, trying to go too wide, further back. You see Rossi, and there's 2 cars side by side.
Big rear lock from Colton Herta. Oh, Rinus VeeKay. We have a car up and over. Kyle Kirkwood's involved. That looks like Jack Harvey as well. Rinus VeeKay in the tires. Huge accident. Yellow flag is out.
Let's watch the blade.
There's Grosjean. Turn 1, look at the yellow car. There's McLaughlin on the right. They're at speed. They may come together. Whoa! McLaughlin holds the lead.
But there's no way I think he'll be able to hold them off on cold tires. Grosjean goes to the outside on hot tires and on the preferred line.
Is it possible? No, it's not.
Contact.
And both of them crashing.
And O'Ward goes through. Pato O'Ward to the front.
But we're not done yet. Not done yet. Pato O'Ward could win at St. Pete.
Oh, guys, problem.
Is something wrong with him? Ericsson to the lead.
He had a huge slide coming off the corner, and he must have had a misshift. Maybe there was an overboost. That's an engine situation that temporarily limits power, and the lead now has gone to Marcus Ericsson.
Did you see him smash the steering wheel inside the cockpit? O'Ward furious. Marcus Ericsson leads the way. In the illustrious history of Chip Ganassi Racing, they have come up short here. In 19 previous races, the team has only won once, and that was thanks to the legend Dario Franchitti way back in 2011. Can Marcus Ericsson, the Indy 500 winner of a year ago, guide Chip's team to victory here in Florida?
He got his first NTT IndyCar Series win on the streets of Detroit. He backed it up later that year, 2021, with a victory in the streets in Nashville. Of course, he is your 2022 Indy 500 champion, but now looking to take his 4th series win on the streets again, this time in St. Pete.
And on a chaotic day by the water with the boats in view, it's been a steady hand on the tiller for Ericsson. Captain-like performance.
Well, he drove like we have never seen him drive to win the Indianapolis 500 last May. And now Marcus Ericsson in the Husky Chocolate Honda is a winner again, but this time on the streets of St. Petersburg. Delivers Chip Ganassi the first victory of a new season in the most eventful